I started backpacking a few years ago, and I would boil water to get a clean drink. One day I was going a few miles and I hadn't had any water because I drank it all since it was a hot day. So I find a stream, I set up my stove, I start to boil my water, I leave it boiling for a few minutes, and then I let it cool down. And then, being the klutz I am, as I'm going to pour the water into my water bottle, I end up knocking it over and I end up dumping and losing almost all the water I just spent all this time purifying. And so right then and there, I decided I needed a more efficient system to use while backpacking to purify my water. The need for clean water is essential to humans in life, and there's a lot of times when you don't want to be caught without access to clean water. One of these times is when you don't have any water, clean water, readily accessible to you. According to an analysis done by the Earth Economics, people living in Washington state spend about, on average, 56 days participating in recreational activities outdoors. Also, according to the National Park Service, people who recreate outdoors put themselves at risk of not being able to access clean drinking water when they need to. I've been in some situations where I've faced dehydration and my friend even faced heat exhaustion, and it was because we didn't have readily accessible clean water because we were out doing recreational activities. And this could have been prevented if we had been prepared for it. So how can we address this preparedness of access to clean drinking water? Purchase a Sawyer water filter. According to the National Park Service, everyone who recreates outdoors should be carrying what is known as the 10 essentials, which are items that should be carried in preparedness for an emergency. And water purification is one of the most important. According to Backpacker magazine, the Sawyer water filters are one of the best for minimalists. The lighter filter weighs just 2 ounces and it's able to filter up to 100,000 gallons of water. Also, according to the Sawyer website itself, the filter can filter out 99.99999% of bacteria, 99.9999% of protozoa, and 100% of microplastics. And this is a filter that is being used worldwide to help provide clean drinking water to developing countries. The filter is also widely used in the long-distance backpacking community for its small weight and size, and it's something that I've been using for years on lots of my trips for backpacking, and it's never failed me once. I know you might be wondering, is this something I really need? Some of you might not do recreational outdoor activities and think it's not necessary for you. But according to the Emergency Management Division of Washington, a water filter really should be part of your emergency kit in case Washington is hit by one of the possible natural disasters like earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, or tsunamis, which are just a few of the many we can face. Others of you might think that you can just boil your water or use other methods like iodine tablets, but those take time and they just leave the sterilized bacteria in your water. So the Sawyer filter gives you instant access to this cold, clean drinking water, and it's removed all the impurities through a filter instead of just leaving them in the water but sterilized. So I want you to imagine this scenario. You face the unimaginable. You go on a backpacking trip with your friends, and you got separated from them a couple days ago, and you've been lost in the woods. Or let's say a major earthquake strikes this area, and the tap water from your sink is unusable. It's been a long, hot couple of days, your throat is dry, your head aches from dehydration, and you've got no idea where your next drink of clean water is going to come from. If you were able to pull out a Sawyer water filter, find a stream, a lake, or even just attach it to your tap if there's dirty water coming out of it, you'd be able to quench this thirst. Without it, you'd fall victim to drinking this dirty water and getting E. coli or Giardia. You end up leaving yourself vulnerable to health risks in dire emergency situations. So purchase a Sawyer water filter. Go to the nearest Walmart or outdoor gear store and you can buy the filter for just $30. I urge you to purchase a Sawyer water filter because if you do, you will know that you're prepared to provide yourself and others with clean water in case you are faced with a situation where it is not available.